Okay, I just recorded a bunch and then somebody came and talked to me and said the name of the city that I'm in, so I had to scrap it and start over again. I was saying that I know I haven't posted a video in a while. I got moved up to full-time at my job, and it's great and it's wonderful and I'm super happy. But I'm working a minimum of 36 hours a week. I'm required to be scheduled at least 36 hours a week, and so it just means like I'm working a lot, and honestly on my days off I kind of just chill. Like, I either want to nap and sleep and just relax, or I go hang out at the library and I color and stuff. But I really want to do this. I'm committed to doing this, so I want to stay on it. And yes, my face is all broken out right now. I'm trying new face wash. My face has been angry about it, so we'll see. I may not use it anymore after this bottle is gone, but I'm not wasting the money. So, the thing that I wanted to talk about today is coping skills. And kind of like, not necessarily what kind, I don't know, we'll see. I'm just going to rant like usual and see how it goes. But something that I've been thinking about over the last couple of days, and that I find very true for myself, and something that people don't realize, is like, coping skills are not meant to be a cure, just like depression medication is not meant to be a cure. Like, it's not a cure. My mental illnesses will never go away, and my current situation is not going away right now, and I can't just do a coping skill and color one day and like I'm good. Like, no, that's not how that works, and that's not how it's supposed to work. Coping and being your best self and working on your mental health and working on improving yourself and working on improving your mental health, all of that is a constant effort. Like, and so are things like dieting and working out. Like, it's so easy to fall off of things and then just never get back on doing them because, well, you fell off. It's just easy to just not do it. It's so much harder to put in that conscious effort to go and do it. And like, this stupid wind ripped my hood right off. I'm not in the Windy City, but it's a windy city right now. So it's a constant effort, and you have to constantly, like, people, unless, think people like who are like bodybuilders or professional, exercise people, whatever, obviously they've done it so much that it's not a conscious effort. But like, even if you made it into a habit, habits are stupid easy like that. Like, difficult habits like that are easier to break. And when you've lived, I'm 28 years old, I've lived with depression and anxiety for most of my life. One off day, one slip up can very easily and very quickly fall into a relapse. Like, I have to be on my game, and every time I do start to slip and fall off of my routines and the things that are keeping me mentally happy and healthy and stable, I have to sit there and go back and reinforce the things that I've been learning, and it's so easy, and it's 10 times easier on my life. It is 10 times easier to just stop and just not do it and just be depressed and be anxious. It's really easy to be mentally ill. It's not easy to live with mental illness, but it's really easy to be mentally ill because you just let your automatic thoughts and the negative thoughts and the things that you've known and grown up with and lived for so long, it's so easy to just let that take control. And then with depression, this is an analogy that I've used both with my therapist and with family members. For anybody who has watched Big Mouth, which, if you haven't and you like adult humor cartoons, what the fuck are you doing? You need to go watch that shit because it's amazing. In Big Mouth, they have the depression kitty. And the depression kitty, to me, when I saw that on Big Mouth, I was like, that is exactly what it's like. It is exactly like that. Depression is such a seductive demon. It just is like, hey, doing things is so hard. Why would we do things when you can just not do things and lay around and do nothing? And like, it's easy to do nothing. It's so much harder to do something. So I have to make a conscious effort all the time, every day, to not be depressed. And that's so much easier said than done. My medications absolutely help, but I can't even lie. If I start, falling off the things that keep me mentally healthy because I'm comfortable, I get real depressed, and it doesn't always hit right away. And I've gotten really, really good at recognizing when I'm starting to feel depressed and when things have kind of gotten out of my control again. And I'm really proud of myself for that. But it is a constant effort. And sometimes it'll be days, and then I go 2, 3, 4 days, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling not right. I don't like how I'm feeling. I don't like where this is headed. And I have to go and do something to change that, to fix that, to get out of that before it really drags me down and I'm stuck. And because being stuck is terrible, and I'm tired of being stuck. I want to be better, but the only way that I'm ever going to be better is if I constantly work on being better. There is no cure for depression. There is no cure for anxiety. There is no cure for borderline personality disorder. There is no cure for post-traumatic stress disorder. There is only coping and medication that treats the symptoms. This is like having diabetes. You have to be on insulin for your whole life, right? You can't just take a pill for a little while and your diabetes is cured. No, this is the same way. I have an illness. I have several illnesses in my brain. It's all in your head. Yeah, you're right. That's where my brain is, and that's where my illnesses are, in my fucking head. But they're just as real. They're just as real as a broken leg. They are just as debilitating. They are life-changing illnesses, and I have to make an everyday effort to not let my illnesses control my life, because they absolutely will. And they did. And that's how I ended up in the situation that I'm in. My mental illnesses took control of my life. I was no longer myself. I was no longer in control. And even on my, I had good days. I not every single day was terrible, but even on my good days, I was not anywhere near as good as I am now. So it's a never-ending process. I like to say that I'm the Winchester House, and that's my favorite creepy chick reference about myself probably ever. For those of you who don't know what the Winchester House is, I would highly recommend Googling it. I just don't have. Maybe in another video I'll go over what the Winchester House is, but right now I don't have the time. And I'm trying not to go down too many rabbit holes because I'm a rabbit hole sumbitch. So, back to coping skills. Let's talk about some of my favorite coping skills. Coloring, number one. I love coloring, and people highly underestimate the therapeutic qualities of coloring. But it's really nice. It's really relaxing. And I like to color I like to color while I'm watching YouTube, watching Netflix, listening to my favorite murder podcast. I also highly recommend Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstark. Y'all ladies are lifesavers, life changers. And if either one of you ever watches any one of my videos, I just want you to know that you guys are a huge inspiration to me. You're a big reason why I'm making this video today, and your success is inspiring. Your success in podcasting is inspiring, and I love you ladies for it, because it was a random, on a whim thing, and it is now y'all's life, and I think that's beautiful, and I think that's amazing. And you ladies are beautiful, and you ladies are amazing, and I love that you are constantly trying to bring awareness to mental health, and the injustices of people of color, and terminology for sex workers, and the injustices against sex workers. You guys are amazing, and I'm only on your video. I just now am listening to your 100th episode, so I'm working through it. I'm chugging through. It's just taking some time. Anyway, so yeah, my favorite murder podcast is one of my favorite podcasts. Really good coping skill for me. Music is a huge coping skill. Listening to music, singing, stuff like that. Really good coping skill for me. I know when I get in a really angry mood, especially, I really like to scream, which just means singing as loud as I possibly can. Losing my voice in the process, worth it. Talking with friends is another good one for me. I'm a social person, and having an active social life is helpful. Spending time with my daughter, which I finally got to do yesterday for the first time since Christmas Day, and I had such a beautiful, amazing, wonderful day with my perfect little girl. Talking to a person that I love very much. He makes me feel good. He makes me feel better. And he's often a good coping skill. He's one of the people on my My3 app, which is just an app for your accountability buddies, pretty much, and the people you can go to when you're in crisis. And he is somebody that has helped me through many a crisis. I wish my head would stay. I'm almost at the shelter. Oh, another big one for me is writing. I keep a journal. I don't write in it nearly as often as I should, because again, I'm really tired and I'm really busy. If I wasn't having to get up at 5 a.m. every day, whether I work till, it's probably past 10 o'clock right now, and I'm just not getting home from work, and I'm still gonna have to be up at 5 in the morning tomorrow. So I'm gonna go lay in that, make my mat up, change into my jammies, and crash out. I also like to listen to creepypasta stories on podcasts or on YouTube. YouTube is a big coping skill. BoJack Horseman on Netflix. Oh, I ran out of it, and I already missed it, so I have to find a new show. But coping skills are something that you have to kind of tailor to yourself and find things that work best for you. You're not one size fits all. Not every coping skill is going to work for everybody. But the beauty of trying new coping skills, at least you tried something and you did something new and you tried to help yourself. So maybe for your first try at a coping skill, go for a walk. Anyway, until next time, see y'all later. Bye.